Good evening. Does any of you know what the definition of being a role model or a person that you look up to? Well, the definition of a role model is a person whose behavior, example, or success can be emulated through others. And that is exactly what my papa was to me. I'm sure that many of you have role models in your life, and you can relate to the same as when I speak of mine. Since my papa is no longer with us on this earth, here's the story of the last time I laid eyes on him. The great American flag lay there peacefully on top of my grandpa's casket as he rested silently and breathless. All his loved ones sat in the pews mourning over his death. Everyone knew of him as a kind fellow, but most of all they remembered him of his gold-trimmed false teeth. They sparkled in the sunlight as he would smile, and smiling he did quite a bit because of his positive and joyful life. I love this aspect about him. Don't you just have that one person in your life that smiles automatically, and when you see him, you smile automatically also? Well, this was my papa to me. As the service came to an end, everyone began to migrate to the funeral home. Out of the funeral home and onto the family cemetery. Once everyone settled down, the military sergeants announced that they would proceed with the three-armed salute. I knew to anticipate the shots, but for some reason I flinched at every one that day. Maybe it was because I was vulnerable. The ceremony continued, and I remember the silence in the air of the tangy October breeze, right as my great uncle, his brother, gave the last prayer before removing the flag and lowering him to his grave. Then the sergeant asked the family who would receive the flag. Since we had already discussed it, I would be the recipient. As the sergeants folded the flag with swift, tight creases to ensure it from unfolding, they then placed it into a triangular-shaped plastic cover and zipped it securely. As the sergeants approached me, I stood there and stuck both my arms out to receive the flag. He placed it gently into my hand and saluted me. At that point, I did not know what to do, so I saluted him also. I have now learned that I wasn't supposed to do that, but I could care less of what anybody thought of me at that moment. Now was the time to go home, sit with the family, and reminisce over all the positive, joyful things about my papa. As I sat there quietly, I listened to everyone talk about his great personality and sarcastic jokes. As time went by, I began to zone out and think to myself of the cheerful memories we had shared over the last decade. I started thinking back to when I was young, and he would get back from his job early in the mornings and babysit me while my mom went out to get groceries. He would be a lot more lenient and playful than my parents because that's what grandparents do, right? I'm sure if you're grandparents, you spoil your children, and I'm sure that your grandparents spoil you, and if you're grandparents, you spoil your children. Anyways, he would let me eat candy and cookies early for breakfast if I wanted, and let me go outside and play early in the mornings. Of course, he would always come outside with me to join me on adventures on the tractors and hiking through the woods. Then I thought of a sad memory, but a good one to remember my papa by. Every year, my parents would take a trip to Mexico to visit my mom's parents. I remember that he would drop us off at the airport, walk with us as far as he could, until he was no longer allowed to, which was the security check line. That led us right to the gates, and the end of it, and his following us was the end of his journey. I would hug him and tell him goodbye, and I would feel a sharp pain inside that is unexplainable. It was neither happiness nor sadness, but an emotion within the both of them. Of course, I would have fun, enjoy a vacation, but every day away, I would think of my papa back home. I would picture him waiting at that security line where I could run up to him and give him a great big hug. All I know is that I am proud to state that I was the recipient of my grandpa's military flag, because that flag has a meaning to me that I can't express in words. I'm sure that you all have an object of this same sentiment, so I know you feel the same as I feel when I speak of this. I also know that many of you have a role model in your life, or a person that you look up to with great respect. It may be your parents, or even a famous athlete, but for me, it will always and forever be my papa.